Everybody has ex. We have a truckload of exes, you get? But that's not the purpose of this outing. That's not the purpose of this date. So stop making reference to your ex. I'm going to be sharing about 5 or 6 tips, 6 things you should never do on the first date. Yes, I'm going to be sharing 6 things you should never do on the first date. It's a first date. So 6 things you should never do. Take note. All right, guys. So the first on the list, and the first people I've found annoying, I personally I found it annoying during my dating days, is you scrolling through your phone. It's supposed to be a date between both of us. We're supposed to get to know ourselves. It's a date. We call it a date. But now it's not like you're having these dates with your phone. Sometimes I've seen guys do this, even the girls do it as well. It's not a nice thing. You're on a date, focus on what brought you guys there. You're on a date to know yourself, get to know yourself better, just to gist and get to know yourself, not you actually scrolling through your phone. I also find it very annoying when you're on a date with somebody and you place your phone on the table. No, your phone is not supposed to be in the same. It shouldn't be there. You are not on a date with your phone. You're on a date with a full human being. So for God's sake, the best you can do is just focus on that person. Dates usually last for, it could be 30 minutes, could be 1 hour. 30 minutes, 1 hour is not too much to focus on the person that brought you there. It's a red flag. Like, it's a total red flag. Because for me, just like, if you cannot give me your full attention on the date, how am I sure I will even get your attention while dating you? Like, it's crazy. It tells me a lot about you. Like, it just tells me that you are addicted to your phone, and outside these dates, probably in the house, you're going to be on your phone 247. Because if you cannot sacrifice at least 30 minutes, 1 hour to focus on me and get to know me, then I can't even imagine anything you do right in the relationship. So it's a no. Don't do it. Don't. I find this particularly annoying. You asked me out on a date and I agreed to be with you on a date. Now you've been on your phone for like 30 minutes. Like, it's crazy. You're constantly opening your phone, laughing. It's very annoying, actually. Like, focus on me. How many minutes it will cost you to just concentrate, make we talk, let's get to know ourselves? You are scrolling through. Either the guy, whoever does it, it's actually not nice. It's not nice. It's supposed to be between both of us. Like, we are on a date together to get to know ourselves. Make we know ourselves. Make we come up for here. Not you looking at your phone. It's a red flag. Sometimes this can be the reason why the girl never replies you again, or the guy never replies you. It's a turn off. It's a big turn off. Stop doing this if you do it. Okay, it happens to people who are very used to their phone. There are some persons now, they can't do without their phone. Dropping their phone for 30 minutes is like they are sick. Like, how can I do this? It's sometimes not even something they know. It's like a reflex. They drop it on the table, before you know it, they pick up the phone again. They are used to it. But this is not something you should be so used to. It's not a healthy habit. It's not good. Drop your phone. Don't even put it on the table. I don't want to see your phone on the table. The phone, are we eating the phone? No, please take it out of the table. Put it in your bag or your pocket. So the second one is you're constantly talking about your ex. This was supposed to be a date. Like, it's supposed to be a date between me and you. But in this date, you've mentioned your ex name over three times, 4 times. Like, it's crazy. It doesn't even make sense. For me, it just feels like it's either you haven't gotten over this person, or I don't know. But for me, it's just like you've not gotten over this person. So everybody has ex. We have a truckload of exes, you get? But that's not the purpose of this outing. That's not the purpose of this date. So stop making reference to your ex. I don't even care to know if you're making reference to it in a positive or in the negative way. Whichever way, it just sounds like you've not actually gotten over this person. That's how the other person perceives it. For you to keep talking about that same person, oh, my ex, she was very, I don't care. But the fact that you remember her in these dates that we're supposed to be talking about ourselves, it just shows that you've not gotten over her. Before you know, if you want to give example, your ex, any small thing, example, your ex, I don't understand. I don't know other things you could possibly use as an example. Okay, this is something you should do. You shouldn't do on a date. On the first date, second date, third date, don't ever do it. Stop talking about your ex. Even if you want to give an example, please use other things. Don't, some people have actually stopped picking your calls because of this. He went on a date with you and he kept on talking about your ex-boyfriend, or as a guy, you kept talking about your ex-girlfriend. Somehow the guy will it's a red flag. He will not even tell you, but it's actually very, very annoying. It's not even attractive that you're always talking about something that's in the past. She's your ex. Everybody got ex. I have ex too. If you want to talk about ex, let's really talk about ex. Let's start doing the ex debates. If it's ex we came to discuss here, but for God's sake, we didn't come for ex. We came on a date for us. Let's talk about us, not your ex. So this is something you shouldn't do on the first date. Don't do it. Please don't. So if it's something you do, sometimes it could just be a reflex. Pay attention to this. Do not talk about your ex on a first date. Second, third, fifth, 100. Don't talk about your ex. I don't want to know about her. She's in your past. Leave her there. I have ex too. Should we talk about ex? Are you go tired? So please don't talk about your ex. It's not necessary. The next point is you don't want to come late to a first date. Don't come late. It's a date. Keep to time. It says a lot. It says a lot. Imagine you keeping a girl waiting. She has been sitting there waiting for you for about an hour. Well, it's a turn off. You shouldn't keep your date waiting. Keep to time. You guys are supposed to meet by 2 p.m. All right, 2 p.m. Please be there. At least before 2 p.m., 1:30 should have left your house, depending on how far or close your house is to your venue. Okay, you want to keep to time on the first date. It's very, very important that you keep to time because it says a lot about you. For God's sake, you're just getting to meet this person. At that time, you actually want to impress this person. So that's not a good way to impress someone by coming late. Especially coming from a guy. For a girl, somehow it's a bit pardonable. But for a guy coming late to a date that you pleaded to have, well, it's not nice. Okay, the next one is don't disclose too much. Yes, I know a date is actually for you guys to get to know yourself. You could be tempted to say too much. You're likely to be tempted to say things that you're not ordinarily supposed to say. Okay, so be very careful, select your words, don't say too much. It's just the first date. So on that first date, he's not supposed to know everything about you. As time goes on, you guys will get to know yourself better. Okay, talk about the basics. Don't go overboard with what you're saying because some of us we like to talk a lot. So you may not even know when you start saying things that you're not supposed to say. Some people have lost guys like this. I've seen guys who said, okay, on their first days, there were some things the girl said, and they did 1+1, and they realized that, okay, this is not the kind of girl I want. You don't want them to do 1+1. Be careful. You may not be a bad person because of what you've said. Probably you needed to even explain better, but you just said it in the middle of a conversation, and this guy has concluded in his head, based on his own 1+1, not your own 1+1. But you will not be there to defend yourself, so you have to be careful with what you say. Your first day is not supposed to be a day whereby the guy knows everything about you. He gets to know you as time goes on. Don't talk too much. Be careful what you say on the first date, okay? The last point is don't focus on yourself. Yes, a date is actually supposed to be for you guys to get to know yourself. So try not to be one-sided. Don't talk only about yourself. Allow him express himself too. Okay? You've spoken for about 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Allow him say things. You could actually ask him questions too, like not deep questions anyway, just to make him say one or two things. Don't just because some people are so like carried away sometimes that they end up talking, I did this, my second was this, my this was this, my that or that, and the girl has not even said anything. You've not even given her room to say anything, and she's just looking at you like, this one they talk. Oh. So you don't want that. Try to give the other person an opportunity to express themselves too. If probably they are the shy type, okay, they may not want to actually say anything. There's a way you actually bring out words from them by throwing them some questions, okay, not deep questions, shallow questions that will help you know them better. Try not to be one-sided. Don't focus on yourself. You're not just the only person on that date. It's selfish for you to talk about yourself, self on a date without you even asking the other person, okay, what about you? You get? It's actually selfish and it's not even attractive because the girl is going to get home or the guy is going to get home and be like, this girl was just talking about herself. She didn't even ask me anything about myself. So it's a turn off. All right? You don't want to do this. This brings us to the end of this video. I hope you found it helpful. Bye.